Hey everybody, what's up? Today we're going to talk about farming glory points from Arena. I've talked a lot about farming Amir and what a big fan I am of that because it's important that you get your towers maxed. There's a couple of them that it's borderline mandatory that you max out relatively soon, but ultimately you want to have them all maxed out and you want to do it as quickly as possible. So I'm going to share with you today a method I've been using for a little bit now, a couple of weeks now that I've kind of fallen into. That's been really, really good for me. I'm averaging about 730 glory points an hour. The caveat for that is that it's also costing me about 540 gems an hour. So keep that in mind when you if you want to do this. It is expensive, but it is a worthwhile investment. This is definitely a justifiable place to put your gems. And when it's done, it's done. You don't have to do it forever. So the quicker you get it done, the quicker you can stop spending your gems on this if you're in a hurry to do it. And to give you an idea of the success that I'm having with it, if we look at my profile, I've been playing for 89 days. So I'm creeping up on about 3 months. And my towers, and I've only recently started using this, so I've made quite a bit of progress in the last couple of weeks, but my towers are currently looking pretty decent. I've got Fire Sanctuary, Guardstone, Ancient Sword, and Sky Tribe Totem all maxed already. Crit damage is next in line. It's also close to being maxed. My nose is very itchy. Water tower's halfway there. So we're gonna have these all maxed in the next, I don't know, 6 weeks is maybe a reasonable estimation if I really focus on this. But I want to get them all maxed as soon as possible so I can be done with it forever, right? So I've been looking for a way to speed this process up. I'm not really worried about how many gems I'm spending because when I'm done, I'm done. I never have to do it again. So let's talk about how I'm doing this. I'm focusing purely on Amir. I do jump in occasionally and check and see if I've got, revenge battles I can do. I don't really check in here much. Again, I'm going for speed, not necessarily the most efficient way to do it. So again, let's talk about this. I'm using Lucian as my damage dealer. It doesn't have to be Lucian, but Lucian makes it really easy, right? You don't need a defense down for him. These teams are not super tanky anyway, so you might be able to get away with someone else. But Lucian is quick, pretty fast animation, ignores defense. He's a solid candidate for this. You can choose him from your Summoner's Way mission early on and get yourself a copy of Lucian. I'm running the Wind Ninetail Fox as my lead because she's got the 40% lead, attack power lead for wind monsters. I'm running Megan for the attack buff and another reason we'll talk about in the battle. This is a perfect example of a battle too. And then I'm running Lapis. And I'm running Lapis because Lapis is playing cleanup for Lucian because sometimes there will be fire or multiple fire units and he won't get the lucky crits and kill them. And I'll need somebody to come in and clean that up. That's Lapis. So we'll talk about how the team is set up, but let's take a quick look at this team in action. And this is, again, a perfect example to see why I enjoy doing this with Megan. So I manual the first 2 moves and then I can hit auto. And from there, we're good to go. That's why I like Megan. Because when there's a Theo or someone that gets a buff like that, she can take care of that and save me a little bit of time, okay? So my turn order is Megan, Lucian, Lapis, and then the Ninetail Fox is literally just there for the lead and then as a fight rune mule. So my Lucian is like, you know what I mean? Nothing special. He's got a decent amount of attack. He's in a fatal set, decent crit stats. Getting him to 100 crit rate would be ideal, but I haven't bothered. This is just what he was wearing and I've left it on him, okay? Megan, again, she just needs to be kind of fast. It's not really kind of fast and a decent amount of accuracy so that when she needs to do Toad Poison to get someone out of there like a Theo, she can do it quickly. And if you want to throw extra fight runes on her, go for it if you've got them. Beyond that, I've got Lapis, who I've got on 2 fight sets. I would have her on 3, but I didn't have anything for the 2 and 6 on her. And I'm keeping her crit rate low so that I don't get crit animations often with her. I've gone pure attack all the way around on her because I don't want her critting because the crit animation is a lot slower than just a regular attack. So I want to keep her crit as low as possible so that she just regular attacks. That saves me some time, which might not seem like a big deal, but when I'm sitting here doing it for hours at a time, that time adds up. The time spent watching her crit animation ultimately accumulates heavily. So that's why I try to keep her crit rate low. And then the Wind Ninetail Fox is just a trash fight rune mule. Nothing of value on here. If you wanted to throw some damage on her, you could, but I would just make sure you keep her speed low. I don't want her cutting in ahead of Lapis, okay? So, again, the reason that it's like this is because I'm getting my lead from the Nine-Tailed Fox, but that's it. She's the lead and the fight rune mule, so I don't want her really doing anything. So Megan goes, Lucian goes, Lapis cleans up. That's a perfect scenario, okay? If you don't want to use Lucian and you want to find yourself a good lead, you can come in here to the collection, go to search, and then up here, you can either check for your arena attack leads, and it'll show you all of them in the game, and then whoever's lit up is who you have. Alternatively, you go with attribute, and then it'll show you all the specific attribute leads. And you can see if you're not going to use Lucian, you can see if you have anybody or whatever damage dealer you want to use that will give you a bigger attack boost than, you know, like some of the smaller ones that some of the other ones have. So, and some of them are decent, like that are easy to get, like 35% on the magical archers. That's not bad. And there's a magical archer, and they all have it for their respective elements. So if I didn't have the Nine-Tailed Fox, I'd probably be using her. But find yourself a good attack lead like that. Your booster, Megan is great because she boosts and she attack buffs. If you have your Lucian, if you've got better runes on your Lucian than I do, and he's faster, you might not even need the booster. You might be able to save yourself some time without the booster and the buffer, because between a solid attack lead and a healthy amount of fight runes, you might negate the need for a booster. But my Lucian is a little bit too slow, and sometimes the enemies are faster than him. So this just ensures, one, that he's going to be faster every time, and two, that he's definitely going to have enough attack to get the kills, usually unless they're fire, or sometimes he won't kill the Dark Archangel in one turn, right? So if you get him a little bit faster, you can probably do this without a Megan, and you could even take like a slime and just throw some more trash fight runes on a slime and have them just be present, and that's kind of like an attack buff, right? You know, so there's other ways around it. The reason I like Megan is, again, because of her A2. In those instances where somebody gets a buff where they can't die or something like that, she can just strip it and kill them. And it ultimately, I feel like, saves me time. So that's why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. So quick recap: heavy damage Lucian, Megan is fastest on the team with a decent amount of accuracy. Lapis, as many fight sets as you can get on her. I recommend pure attack, so that you don't spend a lot of time watching her crit animation, and then enough speed to just be faster than whoever your attack lead is. She's got 101 base speed, and Lapis has 90, so she needs a little bit of speed in her subs to be faster. And then a bunch of trash fight runes on your, you know, whoever your leader is going to be. Now, if you're wondering how to get the fight runes, you can come in here to craft low rune and go to fight. And I'm out. But if you farm fire and light Rift Beast for just a little bit, even if you're only getting like A's or A pluses, 300 of the fire ones and 100 of the light ones net you enough to do a 10 pop on trash fight runes. Doesn't matter what the stats are. Literally, they just need to be on the monster, so you don't have to sell any of them. As long as you get one for each slot, everybody you're trying to use them for, you can. And then if you've got some nicer ones, you know, if you want to craft some higher ones for maybe your Lapis, if you want to try to get them on, or your Megan or whatever it is, then you can do that as well. But the low runes, you're going to craft these anyway if you ever plan to build the BJR5 team, because you're not going to need a handful of trash fight runes for that team as well. So you're gonna craft them anyway. So you might as well just craft them now and do that. And that's pretty much the setup. Again, if you want to use a different damage dealer, just use the search function. Find yourself an attack power lead for that element, and you may be able to work this out where you don't even need the Megan, and that would speed it up a bit. You're going to get a little hung up though when you get in some of these. Sometimes I feel like it's several battles in a row where there will be a Theo or someone else that's going to get a buff up. It's going to just prolong me killing them. And then especially with Lapis knocking their turn meter back, it's just kind of annoying. So Megan just gets rid of that headache for me. And that's it. That's the process. That's what I'm doing. I just, you know, throw in a YouTube video, kick back, kind of mindlessly do this in the background. And when it's done, and you don't have to do it ever again. And that's kind of what we're aiming for here. So I'm going to be doing this on my main account very heavily. Going to be doing it in moderation on my free-to-play, because again, it is kind of expensive in terms of crystals, but I do think it's worthwhile. I think it's a really great place for your crystals to go, especially right now while all these events are going on, and there's tens of thousands of extra energy just lying around for you to get. Of course I'm not farming right now because I was gonna say I'm always farming, but I'm always farming and I've still got 6,600 energy. So, and probably, I didn't mean to click that. Probably several thousand more that I can go get from here. Let's check real quick. It's been a while since I've come in here. So yeah, I could bank a bunch of energy right now. I can get another 11,000 energy right now if I want. So there's plenty of free energy. So you're not going to need your crystals for energy refills for a while. I think this is a really worthwhile place to put them. The guard stones are going to help you immensely when you're trying to build Tricaru, as will your speed tower, fire attack tower, water attack tower, and crit damage tower. Those are all going to make your life easier when you're trying to build that team. So anyway, that's it. That's how I've been doing it. If you've got any tips for how you're doing it, maybe you're doing it faster, you've got a different approach, definitely drop it in the comments below. And if I work out another way to do this that is faster than I'm currently doing it, I'll probably make an updated video and let you guys in on that too. But that's it. I'm getting out of here. Hope it was helpful. Appreciate y'all. Later.